Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. So in this video, I'm going to show you selecting features using a location of features in other layer in ArcGIS Pro. So now let's get started. So in this video, we will use a location of features in one layer to select a features in other, and often those selections will be preceded or followed by an attribute selections. And now here you can able to visualize from the table of contents section here. We have four different layers here. The first layer here represents the populated places, which is represented in the point shapefile. You can able to see that. And second, this is followed by the railroad network, so which is represented in a polyline shapefile. At last, we have our state and province boundary in polygon, and the country's boundary layer here. Let me show you that. This is our the country's boundary layer, and this is our state and provinces layer, and this is the railroad network. So we're gonna use a railroad and country's boundary layer, and now we're gonna navigate to this option in the map section. In that, we're gonna click this option called the select by location. So a window pops up saying select by location. You can able to see that. And now I'm gonna use this tool to select all countries which have a railroad running through them. So I'm gonna select in the input features. So now let me insert my input feature as the country's boundary. Gonna select country's boundary, and our relationship we're gonna fix to be intersect, and the selecting features will be our railroad shapefile. So let me drag this window here. And now here in the selection type, we're going to fix to a new selection. Leave it as a default as a new selection. And now we're going to run this tool. We're going to click OK. So based on the selection, you can able to view that most countries polygon have a railroad running through them. So it might be more interesting to focus on those that don't exist. So the quick way to get them is to invert the spatial relationship. So the quick way to get them is to invert the spatial relationship. So I will tick the checkbox here, invert spatial relationship. And if you want to read more about how this option works, just hover over your mouse over this little option here. That is this eye symbol. So it gives a detail about this invert spatial relationship. So it specifies whether the spatial relationship evaluation results or the opposite result will be used. For example, this parameter can be used to get a list of features that do not intersect or are not within a given distance of features in another data set. So now let us run this tool again. We're going to click this option called OK. And now here you can able to visualize the selections here. So now to view the names of the countries without railroads. So for that, I'm going to click this attribute option here. So now I will right click on Bahamas, and I'm going to click this option called zoom to. So it looks like no railroads in the Bahamas. You can able to see that. And similarly, let me select this particular country, Afghanistan. I'm gonna right click, and we're gonna zoom to. And now here, it looks like a few railroad stops at its border. You can able to see here. These are the railroads. Some of the other selected features like Ashmore and Carter Island. So let me navigate to this option here, Ashmore, and I'm gonna right click, and I'm gonna zoom to. So the Ashmore and Carter Island don't look like a country's names to me. So I could like to get those that are Slovensk countries. I can use the select by attribute to do that. So for that, I'm gonna navigate to this option here in the map section. We're gonna click this option called select by attributes. So now in the input rows, we're gonna select country's boundary, and the selection type we're gonna mention as select subset from the current selection. So we're gonna select subset from the current selection. So now I will add a new expression to it, and set that to be where type is equals to the sovereign countries. So let me add a new expression here. So I'm gonna select where type. So let me select the type here. Type equals to sovereign countries. And now we're gonna run this selection here. So we're gonna click OK. So now let me zoom to the countries boundary layer here. Then I will use the attribute pane again to see that we have only 55 the sovereign countries with no railroad running within their borders. So we're gonna click this option called attribute. So we can able to see the window here attribute. So we have selected the countries of 55. So we have only 55 sovereign countries with no railroads are running within its border. Let me right click and zoom to. So we just seen how we can use the select by location to select countries where the line geometries of any a railroad pass through them, and then how we can use the select by attribute on the selected polygons in the country layer to select just those which are sovereign countries. And when we make a selection like this and also want to incorporate using our interactive selection options from the pull down at the bottom of the select tool, so we can do that too. So for that we're going to clear our selections here. We're going to click this option called clear, and now go to the full extent of this layer, and now we're going to turn on all the layers and show a workflow that uses an interactive select by attribute and select by a location tools, all being used together. I'm going to select all the places within a large circle that we draw on the map that are within 1 kilometer of a railroad, but is not a capital of the country, but which is not a capital city of the country. There are many ways to solve this problem, and they should all produce the same result. So what I will show you is just the one way, and the result that I get will depend on what places are within the circle that I draw on my map. So now we're going to draw a map of our own. So at each step, the number of places that we selected are unlikely to match mine. So now I will use the select by circle now to select a large part of Europe. So now navigate to this option here in the select tool here. So in that we're going to click this option called circle, and I'm going to select the large part of the Europe here. So let me draw a circle. So I'm going to draw a circle over the Europe. So the first thing that I notice is that I selected some railroads, and at this stage I only want places to be selected. So I will switch to the list by selection. So now let us view in the list by selection view. This is an option, list by selection. So here you can able to visualize. So I have selected around 2051 places, and not only I select some railroads, but also some countries and some states and provinces too. So now I want to clear selection from all but the place layer. But if I use the clear button upon the ribbon, that will clear the places selections too. So one way to clear selection from just one layer is to right click on it, which I will do it on railroad now. So now let me right click on the railroad layer here and navigate to this option called selection here, and in that we're going to click this option called clear selection. And another way is to use the attribute pane, where I can right click on the states and provinces. So this is an attribute so I'm going to right click on state and provinces, and I'm going to click this option called clear selection. And I will use the second method to clear the selections for the countries boundary layers too. So now let me navigate to the countries boundary here. I'm going to right click, and we're going to click this option called clear selection. And now some of the my selected places are likely to be a capital cities of the countries. And we decided at the beginning that we wanted to exclude these from our final count of the places. So let's click on the select by attributes to remove them now. So now navigate to this option called select by attributes, and the input rows. So now the input row will be our populated places. So let me select the populated places, and the selection type will be remove from the current selection. So we're gonna click remove from the current selection, and I will add a new expression and set that to be where ADM 0 cap is equals to 1. So now we're gonna add a new expression here. So I'm gonna select ADM O cap. So now let me select the ADM O cap is equals to 1. I'm gonna select 1, and now let me run this. I'm gonna click this option called OK, and now I have 1971 places selected, which is just a few less than I had it originally. And now I want to use the proximity of those remaining places to the railroad to decide whether they will be carried through to my final selection. So for that, we're gonna click this option called select by location. And now I will select my input features to be my populated places. Now in the relationship, we're gonna select within a distance geodesic. I choose that relationship instead of a similar one named within distance and within a distance 3D, because I'm not working in 3D spaces, but I do want a curvature of the globe to be taken into an account. So for that, we are selecting within a distance geodesic. And if you want to read more details about what each relationship type is used for, so there is an option here. So I can able to click this option, the eye icon here. So there is an eye for information icon next to the relationship, which shows up when your mouse hover over this icon here. So for my selecting features, I will choose railroad. So I'm gonna select railroad here, and I will set my search distance to be in 1 kilometer. So let me add the kilometer here. The units will be in kilometers. So next, the selection type will be select a subset from the current selection. So we're gonna click this option called select subset from the current selection. So now I'm gonna click OK. So it is running here. So now here you can able to visualize in the populated places. I found that there are 723 places other than the country capital that are within the circle that I drew earlier, and are within 1 kilometer of the railroad. So in this video, we have seen very small samples of many ways you can combine the interactive attribute and spatial selections and initiate them from the select by attributes and select by location tools. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe to our channel and give us a like.